Bismarck. I got up at 6, took a shower, then dropped my trailer and drove the truck to the cat dealer next door. They charged me $57.50 after tax for updating my onboard computer settings for the bigger tires. But the funny thing is that the guy worked maybe 15 minutes on the truck, and then he did the paperwork for 20 minutes. So it's like more than 1 minute of paperwork for 1 minute of work. Alright, let's see. I'm cruising east on I-94. Just left Bismarck, heading towards Fargo because that's the fastest way to get to Tennessee where I'm going. Anyway, I'm just checking my speed here. My new cruising speed. The GPS shows 100 kilometers an hour or 62.15 miles per hour. And my tachometer, the digital one on my Gear Master, shows 1330 RPM, 1330. And my analog tachometer, which is always about 50 RPM lower, is about 1290, somewhere there, or 1285 maybe. So it didn't go down. At least now when I'm empty, I don't see any problems with steering. Like the truck does not drift. Like I afraid it would be drifting, you know, like left or right. It would be hard to steer. Don't feel no difference in steering. So my RPM went down, my speed went up. It's a win-win. And I'm in Fargo, North Dakota. Space aliens grilling bars on the right, so I guess these guys haven't lost their visa yet. So they're still here. Aliens among us. And one thing I wanted to comment on is my the new tires. Like when I said that everything was, you know, chunky dory, actually I was looking at my GPS, at the speedometer, digital speedometer on my GPS screen, and then I compared to my digital tachometer on my Gear Master. And what I didn't do is I didn't look at my actual speedometer, and it's still off. Not too much, not like by 10 miles or 10 kilometers an hour, but roughly by 2 miles. So I don't want to pay again the same, you know, half an hour labor they all charge for this. And lucky for me, this Butler Cat, where I did the work this morning, they have branches pretty much all over, you know, North Dakota. And there's one in Fargo here. And I looked up at my bill of lading, and there was a phone number and for the Fargo location, so I called them. And turns out they're right next to the Flying J. Right now I'm heading to Petro to get some fuel. But after this I'm going to Flying J, basically just first exit of I-29. And Butler says, oh, I don't have anyone to put on your truck now. You'll have to wait probably till 4 or 5 o'clock. And it's 12 o'clock now. Well, what do you do? I'm not exactly in a rush. My pickup in Tennessee is on Friday, and I understand they're dismantling that building, and I have very bad experiences with you know, loading something that's being dismantled. Last time, if you remember, I had this trip from BC to Montana, I think, where they were dismantling dryer tower or something, like air conditioning we waited 2 days there, so I'm not in a rush. I think I'll just stay here in Fargo and get my speedometer fixed. Alright, so time to get some fuel, and then we'll go to the Butler camp. Check out all this machinery on the right. See that yellow color? Actually, that's the one I like, you know? If I were to repaint my truck, I love that kind of industrial yellow, you know? I don't want to change my ownership, because I know if you change the color, you have to go to the, you know, DOT, MTO, whatever office, and they'll probably even charge you some fee for changing the color. So I'm thinking it's either that ugly industrial yellow or silver. Silver looks good, you know, just to match the. I'm just looking for some room. The guy said I should park near the fence. He says don't park here, where what do you see in front of you? Because this is such a nice place. I mean, nice space. And he says no, do not park there. That's where they're unloading heavy machinery. So now I will just back into that hole between a dropped RGN trailer and a dropped van trailer. Okay, now I think we'll switch camcorders, because there's a whole bunch of interesting machines around and we can just take a look. And next to me is a great looking old but still nice looking Peterbilt. Now first a look at the promised Peterbilt next to me here. I like this one, you know. It doesn't look as obnoxious as the later models. I don't know, maybe because its hood is smaller. But you know, this is a truck I guess they used to haul machinery, and looks like they're taking good care of it. And you can tell that it's old by this old design air cleaners, because modern ones they just you know, straight surface all the way to the top. And the only rust I can see is over there on the bracket for the beacon light. But the exhaust still look nice. The tanks are polished. Some minor damage over there. But you know, check out the exhaust over there. So the exhaust goes right from under the engine, right? So you and then goes in there. So there's no emissions equipment, nothing. You know, like in new trucks, they put a whole bunch of stuff there between the engine and the actual exhaust, usually under the tank. Nice looking air horns, classic lights. Oh, it looks nice. And I don't know if it's standard. You see they have this rubber edging on the fender. I like that. That's kind of practical, I guess. Helps keep the dirt away from the cab, you know. And what else do we have? Well, we have one truck waiting to be serviced over there. What looks like what is it? Either a Pete or a Freightliner. And over there we have a dropped RGN, but I'm pretty sure it's not that guy, because he wouldn't be able to hook up to this RGN. He doesn't have ramps on his fifth wheel. Well, he does have some, but that's not enough. He won't be able to slide his fifth wheel under. And I love this kind of, you know, machinery, and I'm looking at them and I'm trying to remember which ones I hauled on my trailer. And when especially when I had a step deck, and when I was a tow truck driver even, I hauled this one, right? This little, what do you call it? It's not a tractor, right? Because it has a blade and a bucket. Then I hold those over there, the big loaders, and they were just over 10 feet 6 inches tall. And my low profile step deck I had before was able to do that, but it was barely on the, you know, kind of right there, 10.6, 10.7. So I had to get the air out of the tires to make it sit lower. Otherwise the roof was too tall, especially with that light there. Then I did these, not this make, but I did these, what they call it, telescopic boom machines, telehandlers, right? I never did these big tractors here. That's like, I know that thing is massive, you need a IGN for that. Oh, of course I carried lots of these forklifts when I was, especially when I was a tow truck driver. I had a 5-ton flatbed truck with a tilting bed, and I did that quite often. And of course I can say that I can tell that this is a much bigger dealer than the one where I was this morning. Like the space, they have much more space. Oh, you know what those are? Those are generators. I hold a lot of those too. Especially after all these hurricanes, people start buying them or renting them like crazy. You know? Because if you don't have that thing, that's it. You have no power, no electricity, no water, no nothing. So, and those ones, those are big. Those are huge. It's kind of what they were unloading yesterday night in Bismarck when I was shooting through the window. And those graders, I hold a couple of those. Well, of course I can take only one, but when I had a step deck, and actually it's not that long, that thing, you know, it's probably, I don't know, like 35, 36 feet long, so it just goes straight on your lower deck of the step deck. It was beautiful. And it's not too heavy either. I think it was about 35,000 pounds. It's just that they're a bit difficult to unload because they're so massive, you know. Yeah, this would be a pain in the butt, you know, to move. That's where all these RGN trailers come in. Oh, by the way, there's one right next to me. You can see in the mirror. What is it? A 3-axle Trail King. Trail King. Yeah, 3-axle Trail King. Rear lift axle. It's one of those I wanted to buy, right? But I couldn't find financing. Like, check out this guy, this Peterbilt. It has a old but still good 3-axle, and it has that, what is it? Jeep or booster or whatever they call it, right? Another axle. I guess you can put it on the very back. Wow, check out this fender here. Something happened. Someone got killed. And I'm just down the road from the Flying J. Flying J is on the other side of the interstate. That's over there is I-29. And I just need to go through the set of lights. Oh, I just want to be able to see my mark. That's what I like about this cam, is that you can actually see what you're shooting. So, you know, because sometimes I notice when I use the flip, because I cannot see myself, sometimes I'm shooting like this, you know, where you can only see my eyes, or like this, which is even worse. So this way you know for sure what you're getting. See, I can see my, oh, this is a nice view with my steering wheel, you know. It's too bad there's you know, too much light in the background, right? So then you cannot see my face. See, I can always see, I can even see how the light on my face changes over there, like on the display, because I just flipped the display towards me, right? So this way you can pick up the perfect, you know, direction so that your face is not too dark. Like this way it will be too dark for sure, because the cam measures the light coming through the window, and there's much more light there, so that's why my face becomes dark. So it needs to be, I need to face the light like this way. Yeah, this is perfect. Alright. Okay, and I'm thinking, what is it, 1:44 Eastern, so it's 12:44, and the guy said, the service manager said I might have to wait here 2-3 hours because he doesn't have anybody to hook up the laptop for 10 minutes to my truck. You know, it's a big deal, you don't want to mess up, you know. But at least he said they're not gonna charge me again. They're just gonna, he took a look at my the bill of lading I got there in Bismarck, and he says, yeah, it's all cool. So he'll send someone over to remeasure and update my settings. We have a rare opportunity of watching a guy unload a machine. Now check this out. The old truck was Peterbilt, right? Then this guy pulled in empty one, and it's a Kenworth with a Landau hydraulic GN, and the other truck is a Kenworth. So it seems like they switched brands. Check out the front tire. I like that. Day cab, extra axle. Oh, and this one has a Trail King. Oh geez, I won't be able to see how he unloads because he's behind this truck here. Setback axle. But that hole, you know, it looks so stupid, that between the bumper and the tire. Yeah, fortunately I won't be able to see anything from here. Yeah, I don't want to attract too much attention. Well, these are day cabs, right? So these guys, they work for this cat dealer. So they just, I saw the guy from this truck, he would just park here and he walked over there. I guess he was holding some kind of a clipboard with lots of papers. I think that's where they get their orders. Somewhere inside the building. What to deliver, what to... Oh, another cool Peterbilt just drove out. All ready for road service. Where are you going? Oh, okay, I guess he's a trailer somewhere here. That thing on top there, that what do they call it? The wing, turbo wing, they don't work. I had one on my International because they're short, you know, and when you hook to the trailer, if you're using a drive-in trailer, it's wider, so there's a whole bunch of air still going past your wing, and it hits the trailer, so it's no good. So there's no no comparison with a full deflector on the roof, you know, if you are pulling a tall trailer. What are these birds looking for there? I think they're looking for some... That bird was walking in my trailer, then it jumped over to this one. They're probably looking for some worms or something. Alright. Nothing else to observe actually. Oh, wait a second. That guy is... what's he doing? He's lowering the trailer. Looks like another guy is helping him. And he uses the hydraulics
because I was watching a whole bunch of videos, you know, before when I was trying to buy RGN. So there's lots of interesting videos on YouTube on how to disconnect, how to connect. So now he's removing all those hoses, and I'm pretty sure that the next step is he'll just drop the trailer on the ground while that you know, the gooseneck will still be connected to the truck, and then he just drives away, and that opens the front of the trailer, and when he takes the chains off his machine that he was carrying, it'll just, you can just drive off. And that one was, alright, that was a Peterbilt. Now wait a second, am I blind? That's a Freightliner. I'm hiding, I don't want him to see me. What's he doing? Oh, he's backing. He's trying to back into that door. What do you think? Will he make it? It looks pretty small from here. Okay, keep going. You're doing good. Alright. Wow, this guy is really a smooth operator. Check this out. He didn't even bang those yellow posts on the side. Wow, this guy is good. Bye bye, Freightliner. Okay, those guys are, they're taking the chains off. That would be my guess. Right. And I can hear the sound of the binder. You know, when you turn the binder to loosen the chain. I know that sound. Okay, and later we'll be able to see how they drive the machine off the trailer. Okay, and the guy got back into the truck and he's pulling out. And check this out. See, I was right. He just has that stupid looking gooseneck. Imagine driving like that on a city street. People will be asking all kinds of questions. Yeah, so basically he broke the trailer. Well, you broke it, you buy it. Okay. Now that guy, I think that guy is a dedicated heavy equipment operator. Yeah, okay, so he drops the ramps. There's a couple of heavy duty ramps. And now if the machine starts, you'll be able to drive off. And you hear the sound. You hear the sound of the backup alarm. So that's a pretty steep slope there. You know, those ramps, they're not exactly you know, the angle is pretty bad. That's a 924H cat 924. So alright, done. Okay, now the driver goes back to the truck. Evidently he's not loading anything else. By the way, check out those so you can have like loopholes or eyes. That's a very important component over there at the bottom, because when he backs to the trailer, these eyes, they go onto the very thick pins that protrude from the front of the trailer. And once it's in position, you know, the trailer cannot go down or sideways because of that. It's a very cool, simple but efficient design.
And I'm back. Just coming back from Flying J and Butler Cap in Fargo. Yeah, waited a couple of hours. A quick man showed up with a laptop, and I said, "What do you have for revs per mile?" And he looks at me like, I'm from Mars, and he says, what? I said, revolutions per mile of the tire. What do you put in? Because he was going to put in a number, right? So I know. So he did something he did his homework, and he says, well, all I need to know for this is your axle ratio. And my boss said you told him it was 358. I said, that's right. And he says, your tire, I'm gonna put in 497 revolutions per mile. I said, no, that's not right. And he said, really? Is your tire 11R22.5? I said, yes, but look at the tire. And he turned and looked, and I said, it's bigger than a regular 11R22.5 tire. That's why I said you need to put 492 for the revolutions. And the guy's like, oh my god, now I have to go back to get my calculator. I said, hold on, I got one in the truck. So I gave him my calculator, and basically all he did was, he said, okay, you do it. So he put in 358 times revs per mile of tire, 492, and he says, and I say, what's next? He says times 16. So that's what they're using for the pulse. That's what they call, CAT calls ppm, pulse per minute. And then he puts that in the field there in the software, and that's it. And now I just did like 10 miles just to check. I want to check my shocks, see if they got warm or what, because I suspect the shocks on my trailer are bad. Anyway, I just did 10 miles, and I was looking, and now it's, you know, dead on. I do 97 on the GPS. It shows 97 on the speedometer. Now it's perfect. So I'm real happy, and they didn't charge me again, so I only paid it once, so which is fair.
What do you guys think? I think now the truck looks a little bit better. Just had it washed at there's a wash on the other side of the shop there. And they washed the engine, the wheels, all of the tanks. Yeah, there's still a big difference, but slightly better than before. And they washed the trailer. And the top of the trailer. That's an extra 10 bucks. Why not? That's a long trailer. You see, you're looking at my massive frames. Oh, there's still left dirt. But at least now that stuff I picked up in Alberta oil fields is more or less gone. Oh, even this one looks shiny. I like that. My Flowmaster.